Hi, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi here with your First Alert Weather Extra on this Friday morning, the last Friday of August, the beginning, almost anyway, of our Labor Day weekend. And what's the weather going to be like? Well, we've been giving you the first alert for days about some showers that we'd be expecting today, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. We're already seeing a few of them out there, but the coverage will increase later on today. Now, not everybody gets wet, unfortunately. We could really use the rain, but some of us will get some rainfall out there, say maybe a quarter of an inch to maybe a little bit more than that. But as mentioned, we could use a lot more. Let's check in on August because we only have a couple more days left in the month. And you'll see that second full week of the month was very warm, nearly a 5-day heat wave. You can see that if we had reached 90 on that Sunday and on that Wednesday, that would have been a pretty warm stretch. We were close, a degree away on Sunday and Wednesday, but either way, the way things have been lately, it's certainly been cooler. Yesterday morning, we had temperatures in the 40s. This morning, very, very different. Lots of 60s, even a few 70s already. As far as any rain, we could use a lot more. We are below average for the month by several inches. And what we get today will just be drops in the bucket. Now, as far as the temperatures, so we mentioned this yesterday, but yeah, it's looking like that's actually going to be the case for the month of August. For the last 21 months in a row, the temperatures have been above average for the month. So that's where you take every high temperature of each and every day and every low temperature, you add them up and divide by the number of days in that month. And whether that number is above or below the average, well, that's what you get. And what we're seeing is this month will be the first month since November of 2023 that it's going to be below average. Very hard to believe that it's been this long since we've had a month that was below average, and even more abnormal that it would be during a summer month. August here in Connecticut is one of our warmest months of the year. So very wild statistic. This one really, really gets me. But coming up for today and through the next couple of days, yeah, we're going to continue to fall short of our average high temperature, not reaching that 81 until maybe next week. But by then, the temperature, the average temperature anyway, will drop down to 80. Either way, let's take a look at some of our iCams, because in Rocky Hill, you're seeing there was more sunshine earlier, but we're certainly seeing a lot more clouds out there right now. No rainfall yet for Rocky Hill, none in Middletown as well. You're looking at the Aragoni Bridge there. Plenty of cloud cover, though. Even along the shoreline, here's Old Saybrook. We're looking at Lindy Point, where there were a few showers nearby, as close as, say, Essex and Deep River, but we haven't seen much in Old Saybrook just yet. Plenty of clouds there, though, as well. First Alert live radar does show we have a developing shower and now even a rumble of thunder. It looks like a lightning strike in the area of Norwich. So let's see if we could zoom in on that and actually get an idea of where things are headed. You can see that one little lightning strike just to the north there of Montville, just to the west of I-395. So if you heard some thunder and you thought, hey, was that lightning? Yeah, well, it looks like it was. We actually have First Alert live radar confirming that for us. Salem, you had that quick shower. Basra, Norwich, up through Taffville and Lisbon, eventually Griswold too. But these are areas that saw some rain during the pre-dawn hours of this morning. And this is the trend that will continue. So you'll have these showers that are briefly maybe light to moderate at times, but beyond that, they weaken considerably. And as you see here, there could be even a few rumbles of thunder throughout the day. But this is certainly the exception, not the rule. When you take the statewide perspective, there's some more showers out towards the west, even west of the Hudson. That's associated with a cold front, and that cold front will help to really start to trigger off some of these showers later on today. But right now, there's that lone downpour just to the south and west of Norwich moving in right now. So if any of your plans take you in that area, maybe on 395, yeah, it's looking like a quick downpour. Temperatures across the state much warmer than we were yesterday, by anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees warmer. You can see these 50s, 60s, and then even a couple 70s along the shoreline. 73 in New Haven, 71 in Bridgeport. And there's a touch of mugginess out there as well. Your 24-hour temperature change, pretty impressive. Yesterday was certainly on the cooler side, but we're not seeing that by any means right now. Wind speeds, they're a bit gustier right along the immediate shoreline in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range. And that breeze will pick up as that cold front approaches later today, maybe as high as 15 to near 20. Your dew points, though, notice the 60s in terms of the dew point. So this measures the moisture. It measures, more importantly, your comfort level. The higher the number, the more uncomfortable it is. The lower the number, the more pleasant it is. Right now, we're kind of in the middle, even on the low end. But once this cold front passes through, all of these dew points will be lowering, and any sense of that mugginess that you might feel out there right now, well, that's gone for the upcoming Labor Day weekend. You can make out where the rain is falling just to the west of Connecticut. That's with that cold front, and it's going to take its time getting through here. It doesn't really clear the state until about 10, 11 hours from now. We're talking this evening around sunset, if not just before. But what this cold front will help to do is, as mentioned, trigger off some of those showers. But even notice what's developing to the south and west of Connecticut, another area of low pressure, one that we've seen. This is a setup we've seen a couple times. You have this area of low pressure just to the south and east of the Cape and the islands, and a cold front sweeping through, keeping it away from Connecticut. We could use the rain. So I would really take this if we were going to get that, but we're not going to get much today. Maybe next week. We'll show you some model guidance in just a minute. As far as First Alert Futurecast, you see how perfectly it is initializing. Love to see this, where you see that downpour in New London County, and everybody else is basically dry. But once we get towards an afternoon, we'll see a bit more of those showers, but still very isolated in nature. New Haven County through Fairfield County, not seeing much throughout the whole day. But we'll see. There, we all run the risk. It's just a very low risk. And then once we approach sunset, just before, we'll see some showers continue. And then sunset and beyond, that cold front moves through, skies clear, our temperatures drop, but so do those humidity values. And we're looking at a near perfect day setting up for our Saturday. Whether you're heading to any of the fairs, we have the Goshen Fair, I believe it's Haddam Neck, as well as Woodstock this weekend, even today for a couple of those. Looks good. And then even for kickoff at the Rent for UConn football tomorrow at 2 p.m., my goodness, it's going to be a beautiful day. You're talking any tailgating in the morning. It's nice and cool. Might need a little sweatshirt to start. And then once you get towards kickoff at 2 p.m., you won't really need that with temperatures climbing into the 70s. It's a perfect day. 10 out of 10. Your temperature trend beyond that, notice how we slowly climb closer to 80 as we approach the start of September on Monday. And then we continue that warming trend even into the middle part of next week, but still, this is below average. We should be that 81 today. We're falling short of that. And indications are day 6 through 10, so we're talking the end of next week and into the following weekend. Yeah, it's looking like the below average trend continues. But some good news in terms of the precip. These green shadings indicating a good signal that we'll see maybe some rain, maybe more than we would typically see in a day. So I'm going to show you one of our computer models. This is the European model, and I just want to emphasize this will likely change by the time we get closer, but I just want to give you an idea of where some of these, say that green shading that we just showed you on the precip map, where they're getting some of their guidance from, and this is one of them. So fast forward to about 6 days from now. I know it's a long ways out, but next Thursday, we're seeing a system developing to the south of Connecticut and maybe an area of low pressure developing as well, but this could possibly bring in some rainfall and very beneficial. So time frame for some rain at this point looking like later Thursday, more emphasis on Friday, and then the following weekend, and maybe a cold front pushing it out. So very similar to a setup that we have today, but that cold front is delayed a bit. So it allows that area of low pressure to come closer to the coast, or a area of low pressure, and could hopefully bring us some rain here in southern New England, because we certainly do need it. And then also hopefully clearing out just in time for next weekend. But as mentioned, this is just one computer model. This is one run. We've seen this over several, so it's becoming more of a trend. But just want to give you the heads up, the first alert, that maybe in a week's time we could be talking about something a bit more beneficial than these isolated showers that we've been talking about and that we'll see today. A quick look at the tropics. Notice there's an area that hasn't even developed yet off the coast of Africa, but the National Hurricane Center giving something a low chance of developing. If it does get a name, the next name on the list is Gabrielle. And then beyond that, we have Umberto. And then if we get there, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, the list goes on. At this point, this is very rare to not have much going on into Labor Day weekend in the tropics. This is typically where things begin to ramp up. The peak is on September 10th. And yeah, there's nothing out there. Very abnormal. Last time we saw something like this in this kind of slow and very lackluster end of August, early September was nearly 10 years ago, 2016. But no complaints, I think, from anybody when it comes to the lack of tropical systems in the Atlantic. As far as today, here close to home, we have our forecast highs today, those 70s statewide, maybe a few upper 60s in the hill towns, and maybe near 80 for parts of coastal Fairfield County, say near Bridgeport, 79, forecasting 78 in New Haven. Those isolated showers, maybe a storm. As we just showed you in Norwich right now is a thunderstorm, at least one lightning strike. Forecast lows tonight behind that cold front. Yeah, it cools off a bit. Once again, well below average. We should be closer to 60. Lots of 50s and even a few 40s in the typically cooler spots. Your first alert 7-day forecast. Once we get past today, the weekend, Labor Day weekend, looking spectacular. Mid-70s on Saturday, 75 to 80 for Sunday and Monday. Also the first day of September. Looks good. Those upper 70s and low 80s, well, they'll continue into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The trend, though, will be for cooler overnights. Notice the 50s, even 40s. Sunday morning will be on the chillier side for sure, but a nice rebound, jumping up nearly 30 degrees by Sunday afternoon, making a run at 80 on Monday. There's a look at your shoreline high temperatures over the next 7. Those 70s continue through the weekend and even into next week, so ending August and starting September about as good as we can here in Connecticut. All right, other than that, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Keep the umbrella nearby. You won't need it that often, but if you do, you can thank me later. Other than that, have a great day and have a fantastic and safe Labor Day weekend.